So obviously last week the NASCAR antitrust lawsuit case was settled, which in general is a good thing for NASCAR. We can move on from it, we can draw a line in the sand and get on with our lives effectively, focus on the racing rather than the courtroom drama. Now, I spoke a little bit about this, it's fair to say. I made quite a few videos on the subject going over the reactions to this news and also what would happen as well if 23XI and Front Row Motorsports won. And my kind of thinking was that if they did win, then they would most likely have to go through the appeals process. NASCAR would effectively appeal it to death. But that's not happened. They've actually settled. They've been sensible when it comes to this, which is surprising, to say the very least. It's a good surprise, but it's a surprise nonetheless. But anyway, when I was talking about what would happen if 23XI and FRM actually won the case, I said that, well, one of their demands was the fact that they want permanent charter status. That's part of the reason why this lawsuit was actually happening in the first place, and that's what's happened. Charter status has been granted to all the teams in NASCAR, including 23XI and FRM. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been speaking about this a lot. I did cover some of his comments when it came to it's a bad look for NASCAR, it's not making NASCAR look good. No matter which side of the fence you were on at the time, it's not a good look for NASCAR. It's not very productive and it's going to set the sport back. And I agreed with all those comments, to be honest with you, but that lawsuit did need to happen. It has happened. Let's move on from it. But he's now said something a little strange, a little obvious, to be honest with you. He has basically come out and said that NASCAR's charter system is effectively going to be a franchise system in stock cars, which, yes, that basically was what it was always going to be. Now, again, whether you agree with that being the case or not, IndyCar have a similar system as well when it comes to their charter system. Whether you agree with that or not, that was always going to be the case. So I struggle to see why he's pointing this out. Maybe he's just trying to make it a bit more visible to people, a bit more obvious to people. It's not called a franchise system, it's called a charter system. Now, franchise systems in American sports are nothing new by any stretch of the imagination. You know, you see American football teams, you see baseball teams, basketball teams, ice hockey teams. They regularly move around the country. They go from city to city in terms of where they are based because they are not permanently tied to that city. They can move around. They can be based anywhere. They are a franchise. They can be rebranded. They can be repurposed. They have a spot in that sports league, in their specific sports league, to be able to compete, but they can compete from anywhere. Now, this is a completely alien concept to anybody really outside of the United States or have systems similar to that when it comes to sports. For example, in my country, England specifically, because we're not going to talk about the UK, because England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, they all have their own different football associations. Stay with me here, it's complicated when it comes to the UK, but, you know, there was a big deal when a team that was based in Wimbledon, which was a part of London, then moved over to a different city entirely called Milton Keynes. They rebranded themselves as Milton Keynes. That was the only time we've really seen something like that in England, for example, and it caused massive controversy. But you see franchises move around all the time. I mean, didn't like the Oakland Raiders go to become the Las Vegas Raiders or something like that not too long ago? Which, again, if you look on a map, Oakland is in California, Las Vegas is in Nevada. It's a completely different part of the country, which I know they are neighbouring states, but they're hundreds of miles away. It's a long way. That would just never happen in any other part of the world. So is it a bad thing that the teams have these franchises? Well, if you're thinking cynically about a new team wanting to come in and be a part of the sport and everything like that, it is a difficult thing for them to go and do that because they would have to compete without a charter, or they would have to go and buy a charter, a franchise spot effectively, from one of the teams. And we see these charter spots being traded quite a bit. It's something that happens quite a lot in NASCAR. Again, it is nothing new, but is it a bad thing? It completely depends on your viewpoint when it comes to the business transactions in NASCAR. I mean, if you're wanting something that is relatively grassroots, relatively basic, NASCAR is not that. It is a major sports league, effectively. That's effectively what it is. It's weird saying that about a racing series, but it is. And it's not new, and it's not unique to NASCAR. And it's not unique to NASCAR at all. Like I said, IndyCar, they have a very similar system. Formula One, you can argue, has quite a similar system almost by default at this point. I mean, to be a new team to come into Formula One now, you have to be incredibly rich. I mean, yes, Cadillac is coming in, but they are backed by General Motors, one of the biggest car companies, one of the biggest car conglomerates in the world. You know, you're talking, what was it, $500 million to come in and pay that anti-dilution fee. So they don't have a franchise system in Formula One, but they almost do. They almost do. But yeah, for the racing purists, it is not a good thing. Of course it's not. But inevitably, NASCAR was always going to do this. It's the way things are now in sports. And whether you like it or not, it's here to stay. But guys, get your thoughts in the comments below. Are you with Dale Jr.? Are you thinking that this franchise system really is not ideal for NASCAR? I agree it's not ideal, but it's always going to happen. And these deals for these charter spaces are only going to go up and up and up. And maybe it's the kind of financial structure that NASCAR needs to survive. I'll get your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. Have a great day in the world today. Have a great day wherever you are in the world today. And we'll see you very soon.